cold, man. I know, it's because of climate change.
Hi, my name is Joey, and I'm here to talk about climate change. So, climate change can be defined as the long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. These changes can be natural due to changes like in the sun's activity or sometimes in rare volcanic eruptions. This topic has been kind of controversial in the past recently because some say that although there are drastic changes, this is just natural due to the sun, how the earth is reacting to the drastic changes in temperature and how they're trying to fix that. But there has been overwhelming evidence that the changes are not natural, and for example, the global annual temperature has increased at an average rate of 0.14 degrees Fahrenheit per decade since 1880, which is around the start of the Industrial Revolution, which involved the release of lots of CO2 and fossil fuels into the atmosphere, causing a lot of this climate change. And the average annual atmospheric levels of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere have reached a record high of 422 parts per million in 2023, and before around 1930 it had never risen above 300.
I'm Ava, and I'm going to be discussing why it's important to address the issues of climate change. So, climate change significantly impacts our life on Earth by causing extreme floods, droughts, wildfires, and disrupting our ecosystem. The world is warming faster than at any point in recorded history. The last decade was the hottest in 125,000 years. It's important to discuss this topic and not avoid, because climate change can facilitate the spread of infectious diseases carried by insects like mosquitoes due to changing environmental conditions, and further exacerbate existing health issues like respiratory problems through worsening the air quality that we live in. Significant climate change poses a threat to our human health, especially to those who are part of vulnerable populations who are less fortunate than us.
Hi, I'm Mason, and I'm going to be talking about the two causes of climate change. The burning of fossil fuels is certain substances like coal and oil that releases energy by trying to combine oxygen with carbon dioxide. And deforestation is when you're cutting down trees in the forest, which is very bad for the environment. And carbon dioxide and methane, it's when it's released to the atmosphere and it breaks down the chemicals that are transforming in carbon dioxide through a reaction regarding oxygen. And here are three impacts that are made due to these issues. Extreme weather is linked to climate change, while it increases the frequency and the intensity of the weather events like hurricanes, heat waves, and heavy rainfall, which could cause damage to the structure of it. Rising sea levels is when climate temperature increases. Glaciers and ice melt, which could cause the oceans to rise to make coastal areas in certain communities that are out there. Health risks can be impacted by climate change because certain temperatures rising, weather events that are extreme like floods and heat waves, and changes in patterns involving precipitation and ecosystems that are alerted, which could lead to increased risks of heart stroke, waterborne diseases, mental health issues, and disruptions to healthcare access.
Hi, my name is Akela. So now we're going to be talking about saving electricity at home. So how can we beat climate change? Well, number one, you can switch to electric. So by switching to electric, you cut down on costs of having to pay for gas, using the gas, number one, and using cars. You know, this is much more fun. So you can do that by switching to LED light bulbs and as well as using solar power instead of normal electricity, as well as using cold water to wash your dishes or your laundry. And so, oh, and another thing, you can hang things to dry on maybe like a clothesline. Yeah, I know people don't do that anymore, but just try it out. And so another thing is controlling large corporations that contribute heavily to pollution. So that's a big thing nowadays, especially in America, trying to find ways around that. And then lastly, of course, using solar and wind power, maybe at the tops of the buildings, instead of deforestation, cutting down the trees for more power.